Well, hello, my little star children. This is Sahara, and I'm going to bring you some tools to help you read your own chart, which is why I entitled this video Your Chart. We are truly in the information age, and information is a responsibility, and it is exciting. As the dawning of the Aquarius has come to us all, so has the dawning of information. These things are not hard to find anymore, and we're going to take your chart, the chart of people close to you, and look at it because they will be tools to help you navigate your life and world. Now, first we're going to look at the Donald's chart, and we're going to look at the three basic elements as we did before, and we're going to show you how you can equate that to reading your chart. I think I'll go on to Princess Di, Princess Grace, Shirley MacLaine, and Michael Jackson as extremely good examples of ways to look at your chart and those around you. I want to make note that this picture is copyright free from Creative Commons photos. Just as there is no such thing as a boring person, there is no such thing as a boring chart. It contains the path of your soul through this life. It is a blueprint of your soul. So let's look at the three main indicators of the Donald's chart. We have the Sun in Gemini. He is a Gemini. And we have the Sun in the 10th house. And these are things I want you to look at in your chart. And I want you to look at the way the houses are numbered all the way through 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to count around and find out where your Sun is. It won't be here, and it won't particularly be in the same sign. But this will give you the footing and foundation for looking at your own chart. Looking at the Sun in the 10th house, what you're going to do is get a copy of your chart, and there's no end to the charts available online. As well, I don't like the charts online, but the information available is fantastic. This comes from my experience learning astrology back in the 80s. It was like there wasn't this kind of information. In the 70s, I had to hunt around for books and information and do everything by hand. And I'm telling you, it took a half a day to draw up a chart. Now I press a button, and that's true for you too. So now you have new wonderful tools. We're coming out of the dark ages in a splendid way. We have the 10th house here, and we have Gemini. And I want you to look at your chart, and if you don't like the charts online, message me and leave a note below, and I'll send you your own chart via the internet. I will have to charge because it takes time to send it to you. But I like my program is a $2,000 program, but that's available to me too. I certainly didn't have that when I started learning astrology. I want you to look at the sign. Now you know your sun sign, and I want you to look at the degree and the house. So once you put that together, the house, in this case 10th, the sign, in this case Gemini, the degree, in this case 22. Something that can really add flavor to your chart is knowing what tarot card it relates to. The tarot cards are ancient, probably from knowledge built up from mythology and even Atlantis. They took the best way to convey knowledge a long time ago was through these cards. It includes the Kabbalah, numerology, and so it has a lot of deep knowledge. We have the 22 is 2 plus 2. That equals 4. So you have the 4. When you look at the tarot cards, they're numbered. In the major arcana, it goes from 0 to 22, and you're going to reduce it to the number of the zodiac that your sun is in. In this case, we have 22 or 4. We have 2 plus 2 equals 4. You're going to look at the, in this case, 22 is the Fool. It has a deep and rich history. It is a misfortunate number because the individual's not paying attention, and they're in peril. They were, a long time ago, the Fool was depicted as like an idiot or a court jester. So we have somebody that does foolish things. Sorry, but 22 is a problem number, and I've seen it over and over. Now what you want to do is know this in advance. Everybody needs to know this. I don't see a happy ending to Donald Trump's life, but I will tell you that you're not stuck with these things. Let's say you're 22 or something, and you're like, oh no, my life is over. Of course it's not. This just means listen up and pay attention. Study the card and the number, and become enlightened. The opposite side of a fool, of course, is paying attention and to details. So it won't, because if you look at his life overall, he's not a happy person. There's nothing says happiness in his life. There is an insecurity. He's not exactly a peaceful guy. So far, he's not, to me and other people, he's not led a happy life. He's led a fearful, grabbing, like someone who's desperate instead of just enjoying life. But that's a matter of personal opinion. But my personal opinions are the opinion of other people aside. You look at the numbers and you look objectively. And this says, listen up, y'all, because pay attention to where you're going, because the Fool is not happy. Here, I want you to look at the Ascendant. I want you to look at the Ascendant in your chart, or any chart that you wish to know more about. Usually, the children, spouses, it stands outward to associates and family members. If you have a lot of family members, you're going to be busy for a while, and you're going to have lots of aha. You're going to go, oh, I get it now. And that's the whole idea. Knowledge. Knowledge is responsibility. Here we have Leo rising. You want to look to see what sign you have rising and read about it. Do you have so much information at your fingertips to go Google Leo and start reading? And you'll understand, it becomes so clear to you. But you want to look at the sun sign that you're interested in, and you can test yourself and Google this placement. This is either a very egotistic person. Leo thinks that because they're ruled by the sun, they think that they are the center of the solar system, which they are. So they demand attention. And but also, this is one of your more spiritual signs. As Leo grows in his life and trek through the cosmos, he discovers indeed he is not the center, and he goes on a search for God, a spiritual search. Your Leos are often your most spiritual sign. It depends. You want to put yourself on your throne of life, or do you want to put God on the throne of life. You make that decision as Leo. And also you want to look at what your sign you're in and what your rising is. The two cards that equate to 29, I want you to think 2 plus 9 is 11. And the cards, if you read about them, the two cards associated with the 11 card is justice and strength, which is depicted, of course, by the lion. So we have a double lion, a major lion influence. It means tame your ego and use your power wisely. This is justice. You walk on the right side of right and tame your ego. So that's, you can learn about that. You can't separate the Mars on the ascendant from this combination. So you're going to look at the first house, what that means, Mars, what that means, and Leo, the lion. And I did a more detailed chart of Donald Trump, but I want you to apply this to your chart and also the other charts I'm going to present. So we've looked at the three main factors for the personality. We have Gemini at 22 in the 10th house. Combine those. Life is like minestrone soup. You put a little of this, a little of that, some basil, some garlic, and you blend it together. And you start to learn how easily they go together. Now we have, of course, the ascendant, and you want to look at your ascendant and your moon. So let's go look at his Sagittarius moon. Sagittarius is my favorite sign. They are delightful. So we have a delightful personality, certainly interesting, with Gemini and Sagittarius. You will see that his moon is in the 4th house. Once again, you count around to the houses, and you learn the houses. You know how you know the houses on your street? This is how you start to learn about your chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th house. So you're going to want to look at the 4th house. So here we have, you want to read about the 4th house. What does that mean? That's one of the more important houses because it's your home. It tells everything about your domestic environment, your home life, and your mother. And so when you learn what's happening in the home of your foundation of life, you're going to know what your life is like. Just like each house holds a different category of life. And we note that the wonderful Sagittarius moon is at 21 degrees. 2 plus 1 equals 3. This gives us the Empress. And oh boy, is this Empress vibration. Because 23, the Empress, she's on a throne. She's well off. She loves the fineries of life. She's ruled by Venus. And that's food and pleasures, the earth, all the wonderful things that give you comfort. So comfort is a huge part of Donald's experience. And I want lots of stuff. Venus rules material things. So I want the fineries, and literally, as noted in the other chart I did on the Donald, he literally sits on a gold throne. He has a gold toilet in Trump Towers, which I imagine that's where he comes up with his great ideas, sitting on the throne. So we have a luxury-loving persona who demands things, lives in luxury. She's surrounded by bounty and the beauties of nature and comfort. She's very comfortable. I want lots of food, I want lots of wine, I want lots of pleasures, I want to feel good. So we're going to combine the 4th house, your home, where you live, what it's like where you live. It also shows your past, what your childhood was like, and your early environment that really shapes your character, what you need emotionally. The moon, wherever it is going to show what you need emotionally. And the sun will show how you go about getting it. We have the moon in the 4th house. I need a stable home. And this tells a lot about his birth home. We have Sagittarius, an information gatherer. What we have in Donald Trump's is communications of Gemini. He is a Gemini. And the Gemini's main trait is to disperse information rapidly. And so is Sagittarius. These are both communication signs. So we have our first Twitter president. So he is being a very Gemini president. I want to note that JFK was a Gemini. And they were very... JFK got ahead and beat Nixon because of his grasp of the importance of TV. Nixon did not understand the importance of TV, and he lost the presidential election. So it goes. So know these things. We have a Twitter president. We did have a president that understood the power of communications. I'm going to bring some more examples. This is how you learn. You learn each one of these things. You look at your chart, and I'll bring you some more simplified charts, and you will know these things about yourself. You can move forward then in looking at all the other things in a chart, but don't overwhelm yourself, because it's a big universe out there and a big cosmos. So you want to make your foundation strong and use that knowledge. You're so lucky. Believe me, your parents or grandparents did not have this. So appreciate it and use it well. So I bid you adieu, my star children of the future. This is Sahara, and I look so forward to bringing you some more simplified charts. Please give me some suggestions of people you'd like to see. I've gotten some very good requests for people like Michael Jackson and Bernie Sanders, so we can learn a lot by these things.